Hello, welcome to a Biz Creator channel. Glad to have you here. You're probably here because of the title, and yes, I have the best answers for you with that question. And the question is, do you have any questions for us? So stay tuned, because the last question that I have suggested for you is the best one. It's probably one of the only ones you should ask. So stay tuned for that. So first off, I like to let you know that a Biz Creator channel is for small business owners, new business owners, current business owners, content creators. Also, this channel is for work-life balance topics. I work remote, so remote work topics. And also it's a networking channel for anyone who wants to do product reviews with me or anything that has to do with work-related topics. Right now we're on an interview series that I'm doing, so I have a playlist, so go check it out. Yes, it's not the funnest series to do. Interviewing is not very interesting, but I have some great tips that I've learned over the years of doing so many interviews. I'd say up to 50 interviews for staffing agencies, and I've interviewed a lot and I know what works, so stick around for that. So I was on ChatGPT because for my interview series, I wanted to ask ChatGPT what the 10 most common interview questions, the 10 most Googled interview questions were. And ChatGPT gave me 10 that were Googled, and I picked one today for you. And it is, when you're in the interview, the managers, the supervisors, the team leaders, whoever's in the room with you, they're going to ask you, well, do you have any questions for us? And this is your opportunity to get as much information about the position that you can, because you will not know what the job is like until you're there the first day and you're like, I didn't realize it was just going to be me in the office, or there's like 20 people here, or what's the training like? Who's even going to train me? What if you walk into a job and there's no one to train you and you're literally taking notes by sitting with people who are there already? And there's not structure, so that's going to catch you off guard. That's one question I just came up with that I've learned from my experience that I wanted to let you know about. So now the interviews, usually they're at the end. They ask you this at the end. So they're going to say, oh, so do you have any questions for us? So that's their cue that they're wrapping up the interview. So you're going to say, actually, yes, I do. So you definitely want to plan 5 different questions to ask them, because a lot of times they will answer the questions that you have in the interview while they're talking about the position and everything. So they might answer 1 or 2 of the questions. So you definitely want to have at least 5 written down in case they answer them. You want to have something you absolutely should ask them a question regardless of whether or not they answered everything. The one key question you want to ask that they probably won't answer, they might, but most likely not, you'll ask that at the end. So let me first let you know what the common questions to ask them is before I tell you the best one. You want to say, yes, I actually do have a question for you. What is the training like here? How long is the training? And what's the training going to be on? Who's going to train me? So form that into a question. Another good question, so that's one. Another good question is, how many team members are on the team and what percentage of each job duty will be mine? Will I do data entry 50% of the time, and will I do customer service the other 50% of the time? That's a good question. Question number 3, you can say, what is my first day? What will my first week look like here at ABC Company? What will my first month look like here at ABC Company? That's another question. 4th question could be, what are the dynamics of the team? Will I have a supervisor? Are there deadlines? What are some of the strict deadlines here? That's like number 4. You want to ask about who you'll be under, what the structure is like, management structure, any kind of deadlines that you want to know about. Because like when you start the job, and let's say it's like towards the end of the month and that's when they're the busiest, you're going to be new, so it's going to feel awkward to not know that, oh, that's a busy time of the month. See, so there's that. And then The most important question is, they've probably answered a lot of questions for you by now, but you definitely want to end it with, so when do you plan on making your decision? And how will I know that I was a good candidate for this position? Or when will you make your decision by? And how will you let me know? That's the best question to ask. They usually don't ask or say it. So when will you make your decision by? So they know that you're eager for the position and you want to know when they're going to make their hiring decision, so that you know whether you need to keep interviewing for other jobs or if it's going to take a month. If they're like, well, we have like 10 more interviews and our interview process is 2 weeks long, plus we do a second interview. So then when they say a second interview, then you can say, what's a second interview process like? A lot of times they do process of elimination and they do second interviews, and some people don't even show up to those interviews. So you always have a good chance if it's a second interview. Another really good question to ask them that kind of breaks the ice is you ask them, oh, how long have you worked here? And especially if it's a big group of people, this is the best interview question for that. When there's a group of people, you say, so when did you start working here at ABC Company, and what do you like best about working here? They will tell you culture, they will tell you why they've been there for so long, or I've even had a manager admit to me, I think she said, well, I was a contractor for a long time, but when I got hired on here, I decided I wanted to be stable because I like having the stability now, and I really like working here. So that's how I found out that one of my managers had been a contractor this whole time. So that's a fun one, I think. They don't always ask it, but they should. I think most people do. Because sometimes when they do interviews, sometimes they talk the whole time and they're just like telling you the job's this. It's because they're in a hurry because they really need someone. And a lot of times they're just telling you, well, you'll start on this day and then we'll have you do this and that and you'll train with so-and-so, and they'll talk a lot about the company, and they'll even go off in different directions or it has nothing to do with the interview. Just let them talk it out. But at the end, you definitely want to ask them, oh, I do have a question before we leave. When are you looking to make your decision? Because the reason why you want to say that is because you want to know how long to wait for the next job to come up. I know I've seen a lot of YouTube videos where a lot of candidates don't even get an email or a call back, which is very rude. So a lot of times, if you know that they're going to do interviews for the rest of the week or through the month, then you could email them as a follow-up maybe in a couple weeks, just to let them know, oh, thanks for the interview. I was just emailing to find out if you've made your decision yet. You definitely have to be proactive, because with the internet now and everyone being so busy, and emails do go to spam, so there's always that. So don't lose hope. As long as you get through that, that's the easiest question. Do you have any questions for us? It really is very common, as far as almost like you're getting an insight into the company. So you definitely want to be pretty tactful with what and how you ask it. You might want to even make it a two-part question. I do have a question for you. Who's going to be my training, and how long does training last? Or, this is a really good question. They never tell you this. Is there a probationary period? You know what? Some companies, they'll give them 30 days, and a lot of times they won't even tell you how you're doing. So once you're in the position, you definitely want to say, oh, how am I doing? Is there anything that I need to learn that I haven't learned yet? The first 30 days, actually, you don't even have to ask them if there's a probationary period, unless you're unless you have another job option that you'd prefer over that one. If they do have a probationary period, that's not really a good sign. So you would definitely take the other job before this one. But a lot of times it's helpful to ask that question. Just so when you go into the job, you know that they're watching you for 30 days. That's not a fun one. Probationary period means that almost like you're a contractor, they want to see if you're a good fit for the team. They want to see how proactive you are, if you're on time, things like that. All those situations could come up. But anyway, I think that's all I have. Really want to answer that question because I was looking at my ChatGPT list, the 10 most Googled interview questions, and I thought this one was an easy one to get out there. So, all right, well, thanks for watching, and I hope you're having a great day. If you have any interview questions, please leave them in the comments below. Always happy to be here for you and answer whatever I can. And I'm not a hiring manager yet, but I do have experience of being an interviewee. Let me know how it goes, and I'm glad you stopped by. Take care. Be great. Don't overthink it. It's going to be okay. You're going to do fine. Bye-bye. Good luck.